Like you did last week, exactly like last week.
Yeah, it's a little bit different today. I don't know why.
Because you're in the hot seat today, that's why.
That's what the reason is.
That's fine.
Right.
Just relax.
Ready
What's the first question going to be?
to you.
Yeah.
I have to.
And I'm looking at that camera if I do it, yeah?
And we have a great sports project, and I'm going to say, and our guest today, our guest today who's passionate about football, has come to the studio, and he's going to tell us all about it.
Tika.
So his name is.
Bizarrely enough.
Shall I say it's a good omen?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Ready? It's recording in Birmingham, so whenever you see.
I said they're recording in Birmingham. We're not going to send it according to them.
Oh, okay.
They're recording there.
Okay.
In their system, so they know they can play straight next week.
Okay.
Tika.
Two ways. Either to say the naam kya se deo, or to say ko ke bachon ne introduce karna pehle apne bare thoda bahut dasso. Tell us your name, blah blah blah, whatever.
Achha.
You don't know that he's already been here.
No.
To say apne program dekh aapne.
Achha.
But I'm going to mention that we've met already, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm
Well, you can if you want
okay.
to. But yeah.
Yeah. And and they've got Panjab FA on the bottom and all that. They can add it, yeah? Tika.
Before you go, give me the text and then put it on when they can play it.
Tika. Okay, perfect.
Well, you can start anytime you're ready.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Sri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Ranjit Singh Sandhu, and Sikh Channel is about to start a new program called Sports Di Galbaat. Sports Di Galbaat is a program about all sports for all genders and all the difficulties and problems that you may face in your lives, in your sporting life, to reach the top level of Olympic sport or any other sport in this country that applies to the Panjabi community. And today we have a very passionate person in our studio, who's our guest for this evening, and his name is Ranjit Singh Sandhu, which is maybe a good omen because my name's Ranjit Singh Sandhu. And he's going to talk about the national game of Great Britain, which is football or soccer. And he's got a great program, and he's going to tell us all about it. Ranjit?
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ka Fateh. First of all, I think it's a great omen. So Ranjit Singh Sandhu from one to another. And it's an honour to be here on the first show, so thank you very much for inviting me. Mm-hmm. The organisation that we've set up is an organisation called Panjab FA, mm-hmm. And essentially it's the first time in history that the Punjabi community has come together to represent itself on an international scale. So
this must be a dream come true for young men between the ages of 8 and 28 or playing football. It must be an absolute dream.
It's phenomenal. It's really phenomenal. We had trials a couple of weeks ago in Walsall. We had about 30 people who turned up at the trials. We've now whittled them down to about 17. And next Saturday, I didn't realise it was as soon as that. Next Saturday, which is the 21st of December, we've got our first. It's actually a trial game, but with another organisation that's also
exciting.
And that's actually held in Smethwick.
Oh, in Birmingham.
In Birmingham, yeah.
Okay, and what's the ticket for that?
Well, the great news is it's completely free. So if you want to come along, it's completely free. The organisation, if I can just explain the organisation, how it's set up.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I stop that? We'll start again. You gave the 21st, it's Sunday, not Saturday.
Okay.
So we don't want people turning up.
No, 21st is Sunday.
Sunday, he said Saturday.
21st is Sunday.
Do we have to start all from the beginning again?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Oh, really?
That's
Sorry.
all right, it's okay. That suits me.
Ranjit, quickly. You jumped in too quickly.
I did.
Yeah. You've got to let me talk.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Don't interrupt him.
No. तू introduction दे रही थी ना कि तू क्यों खा रहा है program?
Oh, yes.
Where you fail, I don't want to suffer all those kind of things, yeah?
Okay.
I'm here to help, blah, blah, blah.
Basically, you only need to ask probably the whole interview like 4 questions. Probably, yeah. Like four questions, that's it. And each question, I should talk at least 2-3 minutes.
He's got to tell him what you wish each other.
All right. So
he said, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, you just said nothing.
Oh, I see. Okay. So when he says, I say Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa as well.
Yeah,
of course I do.
You.
Yeah.
And the only thing that you say at the same time. Yeah?
Okay.
But after the question, just let me talk for a
Okay.
few minutes. Just let me get the message out.
Yeah, when you.
Well, you'll know when I'm ready, because I'll
Yeah.
stop.
Okay.
I'll completely stop, and
Okay.
don't worry, don't.
Okay.
So on Saturday, I didn't hear that.
Because basically, you just want to say one question, let me just go, and I'll talk to it.
Okay.
Don't
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Start anytime.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Sri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Ranjit Singh Sandhu, and I'm going to introduce a new program called Sports Di Galbaat. Sports is a field in which the Punjabi community has for so long not been able to make a contribution at the international level. We live in Great Britain, and I'm from a generation where our generation had a lot of problems when we were getting established. But that's all in the past, and we're more established in all fields, and we have more time committed, and we're more professionals, and thanks to the media, we've got more time, and the media is ours, and we've got 6 channels agreed to help us in taking our problems, stop. I'm bloody nervous.
Don't worry.
Just relax. Just. You know, I don't think you should even look at your paper.
Okay.
I don't think you should even look at the paper. I think the paper.
Point there, no.
Just have a conversation. Say to them, you know what? This is Sports Channel.
So far, lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, as you say, don't look at the paper, just say what's coming.
Yeah.
naturally.
I look at you.
When you try to
put that
look on
yeah.
paper, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
वो रहते जरा तुझ करें ना कि तूने अपना platform में से चलो. So let's all get together
Okay.
and achieve what I'm planning to achieve for you.
Okay.
Just ask whatever questions you want to ask.
Okay.
Forget about the paper.
Okay.
Hannah?
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Sri Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Ranjit Singh Sandhu, and I'm here to produce a new program called Sports Di Galbaat. It's a program about discussing the problems and the aspirations of the Punjabi community worldwide, to see why we failed to reach the international level, and so often there are so many problems and so many barriers in our way to reach the top. Today, I've got a very passionate guest, and he is passionate about the national game of Great Britain, i.e. football, soccer. May I introduce Ranjit Singh Sandhu, same as my name. So, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you, Ranjit Singh, for coming to the studio at such short notice.
Thank you.
And tell us about your exciting program.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. I know this is going to be a huge success, so good luck in your show. I'm very honoured to be the first guest of this show. Okay, so if I can explain, we have now set up, myself and 2 other directors have set up the first international Punjabi-based football team.
How exciting.
Anywhere in the world. The Panjab FA, but with an A, Punjab with an A, just to let you know, Panjab,
Right.
FA.com. We've been working tirelessly around the clock for the last 6 months to amass the best talent, the Punjabi players, up and down the country. We had trials 2 weeks ago in Walsall, and we had some fantastic players. And it's a huge privilege to help to organise an institution where for the first time in the history of our great people, of our great heritage, where Punjabi people can come together and play for their state, for their nation.
Tell us why this idea was born, and how did it come into your mind, and who's behind the project, and what gave birth to this project? I mean, why did you find it necessary to launch the Punjab FA?
I guess it was because we felt passionately about, first of all, about being Punjabi, secondly, about football, and thirdly, we felt that perhaps there wasn't the current setup whereby Punjabi footballers could go through the ranks, come through, and actually present themselves on a truly international football stage. I mean, at the trials, when I was at the trials a couple of weeks ago, we had some very good players from Watford, ex-professional players from Birmingham City, players from even sort of in the north, from Bradford and Leeds, and the general consensus was that they found it, although they were very, very good players, they found that there were some barriers to extending beyond a certain level. And I suppose that was the reason that we came together and said, look, if we can group together, create a new organisation which is supportive of the Punjabi community, and it doesn't matter whether you're Sikh or Muslim or Hindu or Christian. if you're Punjabi, there's now an arena in which you can come and show your skills.
In the past, I know that on the grassroots level, there's been the Khalsa Football Federation is a typical example. They work on the grassroots level, and I know that they work very hard, and there are teams up and down the country from the north of England to the south of England. And will they be your feeder to your... so this platform that you're setting up will be... they could come through and launch from this platform?
Absolutely,
to the international level?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I think, look, the Khalsa Federation teams are doing a great job, and there are other organisations like that. But I think the slight issue with that is, obviously, it's concentrated in a certain area. And so what we're trying to do is create an international team on a global scale. So we're talking about playing in America, in Australia, in India, in Africa. So, of course, you know, there were some fantastic players there. So we would welcome them to come and play for us as well. So it's almost as if you've got club football. You know, you can play for Chelsea, but you can also play for England, for example. And that's what it is. We've never had an international football team. We've had a domestic league, and we've had leagues up and down the country, but we've never had an international representation. So that's what we're looking for. And I think hopefully a lot of viewers who are watching this today, they will look at this and maybe they'll know somebody, some good players, maybe people playing at different leagues or different standards, and we'd welcome them to come and trial for us, because there's no greater honour than playing for your country, and that's what you have now.
Now, Ranjit, I know that the Panjab Football FA is affiliated to Conifa. Tell us something about Conifa. Okay.
Well, I'm sure everyone's aware of FIFA.
Yes.
Which is obviously the main
the
federal
international body.
The international body. FIFA is an organisation obviously for recognised international states. There's also another organisation called Conifa, which is a confederation of independent football associations, and that is an area where countries which are not necessarily recognised under international law. So sometimes you have places like Monaco or Quebec or you know, various places, Palestine and lots of places like that, where they come together and they've created their own institution of football. It started 2 years ago.
Yep.
There are now 24 nation states.
Wow.
So fast growing. In fact, it's the fastest growing football federation anywhere in the world.
Okay.
And next year we've got the European Cup.
Okay.
We've got the World Cup in 2016.
Oh, yes.
So it's a very, very well-organised institution, and it sits alongside FIFA. So FIFA is here and Conifa is next to it. But Conifa is an outlet for people like the Panjabi community who, let's be honest, you know, under the Indian banner, for example, there's very little representation. Of course, India would be,
yes,
for India to progress through FIFA would be quite difficult. But in Conifa, the Punjab FA genuinely have a very good opportunity to not only compete, but also to win possibly in the World Cup. So this is our vision for the next 2 years, to get to the point where we can actually win the World Cup.
Okay, so tell us about the next big game that Punjab FA is playing against, and you said, I think it's in Birmingham, didn't you say?
Well, it's in Birmingham, yeah. I mean, this is all very, very new for us. So at the moment, we had one set of trials, which was in Walsall a couple of weeks ago, as I mentioned. We had 30 players. We whittled them down to 17, so we now have 17 players who will come. Our first game, it's not a friendly game, it's actually a trial type game, so it's a continuation of the trials, but with competition, with a real international team.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's on the 21st of December, which is, I believe, next Sunday.
Okay.
It's at in Smethwick. All of the details will be on the website, so if you're not sure, go to panjabfa.com with an A, so PANJABFA.com, and all of the detail on that. But it's in Smethwick next Sunday. Kick-off, I think, is at 2 o'clock. Gates open at 1:30. The best thing is completely free.
Wow,
I mean, when have you been to a football game and it's free?
So there's no reason for everybody to go.
Go. Exactly. There's no
reason not to go.
There's no reason not to go. Exactly. You know, we want to keep this open for everybody. You know, we don't want anybody to have an excuse. Oh, you know, best of luck, it's too much, and you know, it's free. Come and enjoy the game. This is the first time on an international scale Punjab is playing an international football team ever in the history of the world. So come. Now, it's completely free. We're sponsoring it ourselves. If I can just mention, there's the company Veggie Hut, which is based in Smethwick. They're sponsoring the food and the beverages. So this business is completely run by and funded by myself, the two other directors, and the company. If I can just mention the company, the company is led as a CIC, which is basically a community interest company.
Oh, okay.
So what that means is that the profits at the end of each year are reinvested back into the company.
Oh, they're plowed straight back.
Plowed straight back into the community,
that's
back
very
into
good.
the business. So it's a charitable type organisation. It's something that we don't take anything from. We reinvest the profits, and everything we've done so far, and it's been it's been a very taxing 6 months of our lives, has been from our own pocket. We've not taken anything out of the business. We've just put money into the business. But hopefully now with the first game, people can see the value, and especially the businesses can see the value of the sponsorships, because Veggie Hut will now sponsor the game for this particular game. They're now going to get a free promotion, hopefully, and also you'll have billboards, you'll have lots of sort of sponsorship ideas. So we welcome businesses from Punjabi community to come and become a part of what's going to be an international scaled organisation.
That's very exciting, and I think the Punjabi community should come together and support the project wholesale. When or how long do you think it'll be before we can see the first Panjabi Rooney or the first Panjabi Messi or Maradona from my generation? That must be your ultimate long-term goal. Is that so?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's going to take too long. I mean, in fact, I know there's probably a Punjabi Rooney out there now.
Okay.
I know there's probably a Punjabi Ronaldo out there now.
Discovered.
Maybe they're there. Maybe they feel they haven't got the opportunity. Maybe they feel they've been pushed into something else, like education or running a business, and maybe they've just not had the opportunity. I'd like to think they have had the opportunity, but the truth of the matter is, the world in which we live in, sometimes there may be some doors which are open to some people and some doors which are closed to some people. That's the world we live in. We have to accept that. So if Mr. Panjabi Rooney, Parminder Rooney perhaps is watching, then you need to come forward. But even if there isn't one just yet, there will be in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, with the support, with the funding, with the passion of people like me, and with the opportunities that people like you give us, we will have. Not only will we have a Premiership footballer, I'm sure of this, from the Punjab community. We're not a million miles away from that now.
No.
But we'll also have an international player of that recognition.
Well, I think that's a very exciting, not only for your project, it's a very exciting day in my life. But what message would you have for the Sikh temples? Would you want them to come on board and develop more and support and sponsor the football more, or do you think they've done enough? Or how do you feel about that?
I think everyone can do more. I can do more. The other directors in the company, and one of the directors now I know gets literally 4 hours sleep a night, because he told me, and he's working around the clock. Even he can do more. Wherever they are, whatever you do, we can do more. And the Sikh Gurdwaras, of course they can do more. We owe it to ourselves. And just remember, it's not just for Sikhs. The Hindu temples and the
Punjabi
Islamic mosques. Yeah, whoever you are, if you're Punjabi, you can all do more. And we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our community to do that.
Do you think if the Sikh Gurdwaras had supported football as they did with Kabaddi, do you think we would be at a higher level now, or do you think?
I think so. I mean, it's difficult to say, with the benefit of hindsight and retrospect, what could have happened and changes. But I'm sure that if the Sikh community and if the Punjabi community was supported, not necessarily by the Gurdwara, but maybe it's not fair to single them out, but generally by the community as a whole, if they had supported us more than perhaps they have, then I'm sure we would be in a position that would be different than what we are in today. And personally, I feel that it's only a matter of time, because I grew up. I was born in the early 70s or mid 70s, and I grew up, and that there were things in the 70s and 80s. We didn't have the same opportunities then.
No.
But the children today, I think that they genuinely do. I like to think they do. I like to think that if you're a scout for Chelsea or Liverpool or Manchester United, you're not going to look at the colour of a person's skin. You'll say he's good, he's not good. But the problem we're having is that from a young age, we're not being pushed into that field. So by the time we hit 17, 18, 19, we don't really have the technical ability. So our vision is to not only create an international football team, which is great, and win World Cups, fantastic, but it's to encourage the youngsters, this 5, 6, 7-year-olds. I mean, my daughter's 4. No, sorry, my daughter's 5. I'd love her to become the first. Why can't we have a Punjabi female football team?
Why
Why
can't
not?
we? Nothing
You know,
to say we can't.
And there's no reason why my daughter, a 5-year-old today, and my other daughter who's 2, could be playing for that team in 20 years' time. But they need to learn to play now, and they need to be supported, because football is not just a sport. Football can be a way of life. It's a way of staying fit and healthy. It's a way of having mental and physical discipline. The organisation, the way we've set it up, we have very professional coaches. We have very strict rules and regulations. Fair play is very important. Having discipline. Coming to training on time. Making sure that you're respectful of other peers. So we're not just teaching how to kick a football around. We're teaching about rules and regulations in life. My daughter, for example, and myself, I did martial arts. So you have certain boundaries, limitations, and a box to work with. And now I know you're in wrestling, for example, and your son's a wrestler.
Yes.
Having that organisation is not just about throwing somebody onto a mat. It's a complete life-changing experience.
Yes, it is.
And I think people who don't understand football, especially some of the older generation, they see football. Oh, this is a sport that's not really for us. What are you going to do? Actually, they should see it as something else. And even if you don't make it right to the top, you can still enjoy sport. You can still love sport, play to a high level, and I still have my business is stockbroking. I'm in financial services. There are other people who I saw a couple of weeks ago. Some people are doctors, and some people are lawyers, and some people run a corner shop, and some people are postmen.
Excuse me.
It doesn't matter what it is, but encouraging sport from a young age is what this organisation is all about.
I recall just recently that when in international affairs, when Iran went to the USA, and they wanted to have to improve communication and ties and good relations, they had a football match. And President Clinton at the time said that what a wonderful thing this is. I think Iran won that game. And he said that it's brought us together, two enemies, arch-rival enemies, brought together on a playing field in the spirit of the game. And that's a good thing. And I think that the Punjabi community here needs to connect with worldwide, because we're getting established. We've been here 70 or 80 years. We need to... football is one thing I think has been a deficit in the development of the Punjabi sports scene. So I think it's very exciting. I'm delighted, and I wish you the best of luck with this project. And I hope that people who are watching, especially youngsters who like football, this is a platform from which you can launch. The sky's the limit, and there's no limit to becoming an international football star.
No, exactly. And you make a very good point, because football allows you to win hearts and minds. That's what it does. It brings people together who wouldn't normally come together. I was watching a documentary not very long ago, and in World War II, the Nazis were playing against the British. The Nazis, they put down their guns, they got out a game of football, and they started to play. And after the game, they picked up their guns, and they continued with battle. But if you imagine the factions we see between the Muslims and Hindus and Sikhs, outside it goes on, and when you come onto a football field, everything's forgotten. You are playing for Punjab. Doesn't matter what colour you are, doesn't matter what race you are, what religion you are, doesn't matter if you're tall or small or rich or poor. It's a level playing field, and that's a great thing. It transcends, class, gender, race, financial status. It transcends everything. So I hope it will work. And if I can just say to the viewers, going back, we need the support of the Punjabi community. It's all good and well me trying to do my best here, and obviously promotion of these things, and obviously directors Harjinder Singh and Harpreet Singh to help us in this vision. But what we need is people like watching now. We need business owners to become a part of this, and it's not just one-way traffic. If you sponsor us, if you can, whatever it might be, you could sponsor. For example, Veggie Hut is sponsoring food and beverages. We might need graphic designers to help with the website. We might need accountants to help with accounts. We might just need funding, literal funding, to pay for stadiums and matches and referees. All of these things cost money, and we have to pay for this. But if you do that, we will give you sponsorship as well. And imagine having an international football team travelling all over the world, being on not only on obviously Sikh Channel TV and the Gal Channel TV, but also on British mainstream TV as well. There's no reason, for example, I've got plans to go on ITN News, for ITV News, for example, BBC News. This is going to be a snowball effect. And the people who want to support us now, they're the people who are going to be on board. So you can join us. So Panjab FA, PANJAB FA.com, really important. Please go to us. Hopefully it's going to come on your screen. info@panjabfa.com. And talk to us, you know, whether you want to play football, whether you want to sponsor us, whether you just want to say, you know, ask us a question. Just interact with us. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. And I hope this message goes out, not just to, you know, a few thousand, but millions of people all over the world.
Ranjit, tell us about, if we had a question and to gauge the public's response to what we've said today, or our project. If in the past, shall we say, the indigenous population, the British have said that they've found a number of excuses why we haven't made it. They've ridiculed us that if we get a corner, we open a corner shop, is one that I grew up with. The other one was we're racially weak. The other one was parental discouragement, racism, or none of the above. If I gave a question, which one of the things would you say? Which one of them applied to us, if any of them?
Well, as to why we didn't progress?
Yes, in the past.
I think it could be a combination of all of them.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, it's, you know, I think, you know, there's no doubt that in the 70s and 80s there were certain barriers to entry. I don't think that can be questioned. You know, okay. I mean, I grew up in a certain time and I know that happened. Okay. But you know, on the one hand, I think it's important to remember that. On the other hand, I think it's also important to move on from that. So okay. Personally, I think, you know, what has happened. I think what we should focus on now is the positive, and the positive is whatever's happened in the past, whatever you know. And I know certainly from slightly older, from our generation, things have happened. But certainly the young kids growing up now, my five-year-old daughter doesn't know any different. You know, she plays football, she loves it. And I think what I want her to do is just to have the opportunity to play. And I think that's the same for everyone. So whatever has happened. There's no excuse now. There's no excuse. Now you can play, and now there's no excuse.
Ranjit, I think that football is very well organised in Great Britain. It has a Premier League, it has world-class stadiums. It has every Sunday kids are out playing, and it's mass participation in this country. Do you think that we have now come another step, as to say that we're actually involved in the grassroots programs, and that we encourage our children now, we don't disencourage them, as we used to in my time or before me? Do you think that's changed? Do you think the mindset's changed of the Punjabi community? I think it has. I think it's changing, and it has changed, but I still think there's more to be done. And you know, and I think, you know, these sort of organisations will help to show people, especially the older generations, to show, look, your kids can be successful. There's a route here. You can make this happen. But it is changing, and so it's a positive thing. So, you know, I think if there's one thing we should leave this interview on, is there is a lot of positive stuff happening out there. And I genuinely don't think now, if we can get the next, as you say, next Panjabi Rooney or Ronaldo, and we can showcase them and say, look, this is a guy, he came through the ranks. There's no reason why they wouldn't be playing for Liverpool or Man United or Arsenal, you know, in 5 years from now. So, mums and dads, parents, brothers and sisters, all your children who are between the ages of 8 and 28 or playing age, this is a golden opportunity, and it's a great day I think in the history of Punjabi football, in the Punjabi community, to bring there's no reason why you shouldn't bring your children forward to the playing field and engage him in the sport. If he likes football, engage him in football. And now there's a clear-cut avenue and a platform from which you can come through and write and represent Punjab. What a great honour that would be. What a great thing that would be. And no doubt in the coming years and months, we will see a Panjabi Rooney and we'll see a Panjabi Messi. No doubt there's one out there. It's just a matter of discovering one. It's like a diamond. We just haven't found one yet. We'll find one soon enough. We'll find one. Just get on the phone, call me. Let's make this happen. PanjabFA.com. Come. You know, this is today. History is being made. I can't emphasise that enough. History is being made. Become a part of history. Even if you just come to watch the game, even if you come just to have a few samosas at the end, or come and take photos,
today history is being made. So come and join us, and this is our project. It's not mine. It's not yours. It's our project. It's for the Punjabi people. We owe it to ourselves to make this happen. So please make it happen for us.
Well, Ranjit Singh Sandhu, thank you very much for coming. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa and Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
That's good.
Well done.
Well done.
Thanks.
That's good.
You really helped me out there.
No, you did. No, you did well.
Oh, hello, mate. How are you?
We're going to get together.
Yeah, we were going to get together.
It's actually a bit easier to do that.
Well, you must be kidding. I'm bloody... Oh, sorry, I mustn't walk away.